Okay, so yesterday I went and saw Nope, and what do I think? It was a great movie. Um, Now I've been excited
I
for this
thought this
movie for
movie lives
quite a
up to the
while
hype
now.
quite well.
I mean, it's directed by Jordan
It's
Peele,
directed by
the
Jordan Peele,
guy who
who also
also
directed Get
directed
Out and
Get Out and
Us,
Us, which were both
which were
great
both
movies.
great
Get Out
movies.
especially.
Get Out especially. And you may
Um,
remember I saw the
I
trailer
just
for this
remember
movie
when earlier
before,
this year when I
you
went and
know,
saw,
that movie.
that movie. Um, the trailer for
The
Nope
trailer for
plays
Nope plays
before it,
before it.
and
And they also
they played
played
it
the
for
trailers
Don't
for
Worry
Don't
Darling
Worry
and the
Darling
Black
and the
Phone.
Black Phone.
And 2 months ago, the Black Phone came out, and you guys will remember my review. I absolutely loved it. It was the best. It's the best movie of the year so far. Um, uh, and funnily enough, the trailer for Nope actually plays before the Black Phone. Um, don't worry, darling. Still hasn't come out yet. It's not coming out till the 23rd of September. Um, but when it does come out, I will be very excited to see it. Um, and funnily enough, the trailer for it actually played before Nope. They also played the trailer for that movie, The Invitation. Uh, Now, if only they would just release the trailer for Dark Harvest. But anyways, so now that Nope has finally come out in Ireland, and I finally went and saw it there yesterday, what do I think of it? It was great. It was a fantastic movie. Um, it didn't exactly quite live up to the hype as much as the Black Phone did. But that being said, though, it was still a great movie and I loved it. Um, anyway, so the cinematography, this movie does a good job with it. Um, I noticed there's a lot of like panning shots in this movie where it's like it like it pans the camera over to a different area. Um, uh, and I also a bit of that in this movie. Um, the pace is pretty good. I think this movie is like it's like 2 hours long. Um, and I don't feel the runtime dragged. It might drag for a few people, but for me it kind of flew honestly. Um, the sounds and music is pretty good. The film has a decent soundtrack and a few good scores in it. And there's a lot of the in this movie. Um, looks like an alien movie. Um, and what was it? Oh yeah. The editing is pretty good. The UFO in the movie actually looks really good, and not to mention quite scary too. Like I think this might actually be the scariest UFO I have ever seen in a movie. Um, as for the characters, I think that the main character OJ, he does make for a really good main protagonist. Um, and there's his sister M, who I thought was very entertaining. She could give a few laughs throughout the movie, and I love like their sibling dynamic where it's like OJ is kind of like the very stoic and serious one, while M is sort of the more hip and kind of cool one, and yeah, I think their dynamic kind of how like works off each other. It's brilliant. Um, then there's Jupe, who I thought was pretty good, and we do like see like his backstory in the movie, and yeah, it is pretty dark. And like there's some suspicious stuff going on with him in the movie, and his subplots could be like quite hard to understand upon first watch. It's only upon like further reflection when you kind of start to guess it. Um, then there's Angel Tours. Um, I thought he was really good. It was pretty entertaining, and yeah, he could also get a few like decent laughs throughout the movie. Um, and then there's Adler's host. He's actually pretty good. And he's played by a really good actor, Michael Wincott. Uh, he stars in such movies as The Crow, which, as you guys all know, I reviewed earlier this year. Um, and funny enough, this isn't like his first Alien movie, because like he previously starred in Alien Resurrection and Treasure Planet. Um, and I love his voice. He's got a very like deep, like raspy voice. Um, and I mean, he is a pretty good character in the movie. Cause like usually when I see him in movies like like The Crow and Treasure Planet, he plays like this sort of like villainous character. So this was a pretty different character for him. Uh, so yeah, those are some of the main characters. Um, the plot was really good. I'll admit the film's plot could actually be like very confusing, as I mentioned. It's again, it's upon like further reflection where you kind of start to understand it more. Uh, and wow, I gotta say, this movie was actually pretty different as to how the trailers made it out to be. Um, like, I'm not gonna lie, this movie could actually be scary at certain points. Um, like, for example, the scene with Jupe's backstory. Like, that was a scary move. It was actually a pretty scary scene, I'm not gonna lie. Um, it was very intense. There were plenty of scenes in this movie which were honestly super, super intense. Um, and not to mention the UFO in this movie is very creepy, as I mentioned. And it makes for a great threat for our characters. And The narrative structure is pretty good. I I think there's like some of these plots like the plot with the main characters trying to like capture footage and stuff. You know, it's I think it's I think it does make for like a good like main plot point in the movie. There's also like a few plot points like for example as I mentioned Jupe's backstory. Something I was actually meant to say about Jupe is that he actually wasn't really in this movie like as much as the marketing made him out to be. But yeah, and I thought that was again his backstory was actually frightening. It was actually a pretty frightening scene. Um, oh, and not to mention, it can also be pretty confusing, as I mentioned. Like when I first watched the movie, I didn't really get his whole like plot and how it all like ties into the main events of the movie. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? What happened there? Wait, how does this tie into the movie? Um, but then, like, I read some stuff on the internet about the movie, and like upon like further reflection stuff. And now I look back at this and I'm like, oh there I get it now. Yeah. Um. So yeah, this movie it's not like the most straightforward. It's not exactly the most straightforward plot. Um. And it also kind of depends on like your own reflection of back all the way to like understand the plot. And I know a lot of people might not like that, you know, because I think a lot of people do kind of just prefer to just be straight up told like, you know, what's going on. Well, me personally, I'm actually kind of more into stuff where it's kind of based on like your own reflection of the movie to decide for the plot. But yeah, so overall, Nope is a great movie. And while it may not have exactly lived up to the hype in quite the same way as the Black Phone did, it still did definitely live up to the hype, and let's hope that Don't Worry Darling does the same. And let's also hope that they release a trailer for Dark Harvest too. But anyways, so I'm going to give Nope a 9.6 out of 10. I'll see you guys next time, and bye.